You're listening to Unshaken, the Hope Dealer podcast, where we rise, heal, and make no excuses. I'm your host, Jason Brooks. Let's turn trauma into truth and pain into power. Let's go. Hey, everybody. Thanks again. And I welcome you back to another fabulous episode of Unshaken. Today is Tuesday, and we're starting off the month of June with a bang. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend and a fabulous start to the week. But we just completed the last 3 episodes, and I hope you got a lot out of it, right? You know, we talked to my guests that were in rehab with me, and I definitely hope you got a lot out of it, because again, what I thought was important was to be able to relay how important it was for 3 guys to meet in rehab and then to successfully still be sober going on 4 years, right? And it's not something that, to brag about. Well, actually, it is something to brag about, to be proud of. But the main thing that I wanted to get across to you and to get out there is what I say a lot, right? Is the fact that the opposite of addiction is connection. And to be successful in sobriety, and not just sobriety, but to me with mental health, right, is to have connection, is to have community, is to have resources at your disposal, to have a network. And that is really the purpose of this podcast, to be quite honest with you, right? So I really wanted to create this to establish a place that people like you, people like me, just the absolute ordinary could come to at any time, or could reach out at any time, whether it's 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock in the morning. You can just turn this baby on, and whether it's this episode or the second episode or the 200th episode that we're going to make one day, and be able to find an episode that resonates with wherever you're at the given moment in time that you may need to listen to. And hopefully one day you find something that you'll need at that given time. Hopefully, in a perfect world, your mental health is where you don't need it. That would be ideal. But unfortunately in life, we always seem to run into these obstacles, these triggers. I mean, shit happens. Shit happens in life, that life's just not perfect, right? Things just happen. I want to be able to, either through my personal experiences, through my guest experiences, or just through bringing on guests that are experienced, whether they're physicians or counselors or shamans or people that are just experienced in in recovery or mental health, people that can give advice, life skills that will really help you out and help me out, right? So life's a journey, mental health's a journey, recovery's a journey, and we're going to be on this journey together. And I'm so glad you're with me on this journey. We're going to kick life's ass, and we're going to take names while doing so. This particular episode, we're going to talk about a few different things, but recently I've been in this group, and one thing that I was really always into was festivals. A little strange with my background, right? I kind of grew up in the party scene, big surprise. But one of the things that I really loved was EDM, electronic dance music. And I've always loved festivals, raves. Well, some things never change, right? I still love the music. The music to me has always just been very uplifting. So no matter if you are just in a shitty mood, depressed mood, just down, just your spirits are low. There's something about turning on some Tiesto or some Diplo or just really any type of EDM or some of us old heads will call it techno, which a lot of these Gen Zs will laugh at when they hear it. But regardless, the music just it's one of those types of genres that just you just listen to it. You can just you just feel it, right? So that's something that I've always listened to. I've always loved. And it doesn't have to necessarily have any words. It's just the beat that it just gets in you, right? So, and with that, I just love, the idea of going to festivals and being around like-minded people because, with especially more so now, and I've talked about in previous episodes, things that I like, I talked about like self-care and I like things such as like crystals with my spirituality, my beliefs in the universe and energy. And I meditate and I like, you know, plant healing and natural healing. And I like walking around in the grass. I believe in grounding, things like that. And believe it or not, a lot of the people that go to these things are very similar. They believe in numerology. I believe in, I got 1111 tattooed. I got 888 tattooed. So you may call it weird. I don't. I love stuff like this. And a lot of the people that go to these events are very similar, otherwise known as granolas, otherwise known as hippies, right? It's more modern day hippies. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. So going back, I'm in a lot of these groups, right? And a lot of these groups are talking about like EDC or, just different festivals that have either happened or coming up. And what struck me is people are asking, whether it's males or females, are talking about, hey, this event's coming up and my girlfriend's going to it. She's going alone. Or it might be a female that's just saying, hey, I'm going by myself. I'm a little worried about going by myself. Or I'm thinking about going by myself, but I'm shy. I'm worried. I'm nervous. I've never done things by myself. So it struck me because, I would say up until probably 18 months, 2 years ago, I was the same, right? I would never, ever even contemplate on doing anything by myself. And I just always had to have somebody around me to feel comfortable. And especially before I was sober, I always had to have people around, right? I always had to have people around. I always had to be the center of attention. I always had to have other people around to, I guess, kind of like justify who I was. And at the end of the day, you don't need anybody else to justify who you are. You're all that you need, right? You're thebomb.com by yourself. Other people don't make you who you are. You're already all that's needed. What really made a big difference in my life is I can really remember the turning point and again, over the last going on 4 years now, I've done a lot of self-reflection and a lot of self-work on myself, but I can remember in particular a few years ago, and annually with my regular job, every year we go on these work trips and it changes location every year, but typically it's like somewhere in like Mexico. And I can remember every year we do have the option to extend it or go a little early. But in this particular year, I chose to extend it. I think it was 2, maybe 3 days. And we also have the option to take a guest, right? And the company pays for it. So it's a phenomenal opportunity to take somebody with us. Company pays for it. Something that we work all year to attain. But this particular year, I said, you know what? I'm not taking anybody. And beyond that, I'm going to extend it. And when we extend it, the group that I extended it with was really phenomenal people. And we went to a different resort for the next 2 to 3 days. Again, I can't remember exactly how long it was. But anyways, this resort we went to afterwards was really cool because it was like almost kind of like tiki huts, like in a jungle. Like it was really dope, to be quite honest with you. But what I decided to do was just to take some books. I was really in this mode during that time of like self-reflection, and I was really into reading. And the authors that I was really getting into and that I've been into ever since was Rhonda Byrne and Dr. Joe Dispenza. And that's just a couple. I'm really into anybody along the genres that they are, and that genre being manifestation. I'm really into manifestation, self-belief, quantum physics, things like that. But again, I said to myself, I'm going to take this time to self-reflect, do some self-work, and that's exactly what I did. So, I took these books and I literally buried myself in these books, whether it was just sitting on the beach with my feet in the sands, sipping on virgin mojitos. But I learned so much about whether it's manifesting abundance, but it really changed my life in a couple different ways. Number one, it changed my life in realizing that I didn't need anybody. I didn't need anybody to travel with. I didn't need anybody to make me happy either. I realized that I'm all that I need. I'm all that I need. Nothing else is needed. And I said this before, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Over the last 4 years, I've never been lonely. Now, I've been alone, but again, alone is a choice. Lonely is a state of mind. I've chosen to be alone because I've chosen to work on myself. And again, one day, I don't know when, I don't know. I still, I go back and forth. I waver. Like, do I want to be in a relationship? Do I not want to be in a relationship? Again, I just go back and forth. But one day, if I decide to be in a relationship, somebody is going to get the best version of myself, because the version of myself that I am now compared to what I was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago is night and day. But yeah, I took that time to really focus on myself, and I'm so much further ahead of where I was before. It's crazy, right? So like literally, again, I read, and then at night I would leave the resort and I would walk into town by myself, go out to eat by myself, go shopping by myself. And it just gave me an opportunity to self-reflect, to learn more about myself, and also to learn about what I was studying, which was the arts and the science of manifestation. And I've really focused on that ever since, to the point I've implemented that into my morning and evening routine. It's also changed my perspective on life as far as being grateful. I've learned that being grateful for everything you have changes what the outcomes in life are, right? No matter where you think you are in life, no matter what you think you're dealing with or what you're facing, there's always somebody that's got things worse, right? Sometimes I think, man, today sucks. Like I didn't get enough sleep last night, or God, man, this month sucks. I'm not closing as much business as I need to, or, it could be a lot of different things. But, at the end of the day, a lot of things are trivial. A lot of things are small in comparison to a lot of other things. Truth be told, right now, somebody is laying in the hospital right now and they're having to make a major decision, or somebody's having to make a major life decision on the behalf of somebody else. Somebody can't make their power bill payment. Somebody can't make their water bill payment, or somebody's water is getting turned off, or somebody can't buy diapers for their child. I've got a roof over my head. I've got water. I've got two beautiful children. I've got this podcast. I have goals that I set out to accomplish this year, and I'm doing it. So even though life can be a struggle sometimes, life's kicked my ass lots of times, but I'm here. I'm alive. And even though I've hit rock bottom, even though, as I've told you, I've struggled, I've almost taken my life. But the fact of the matter is I didn't. Lots of people have. I'm gonna do an episode, or, at least talk about it sometimes. I don't have the exact stat right now, but right now this month is Men's Mental Health Month. And I saw it the other day, but the amount of men that take their life every minute, every hour, every day, every week is absolutely bonkers. So I am here. You are here. But the fact of the matter is a lot of people aren't. So bottom line is we have a lot to be thankful for. So again, I implement this into my daily routine about, I wake up every day, talk about how grateful I am. And I say this in the evening as well. But again, this all goes back to me manifesting as well. But you have to be happy with what you have. And, when it comes to manifesting, you have to believe you already have it, and you have to feel it. Manifesting doesn't work if you have doubts in your mind, or for instance, if you want to manifest abundance, you can't tell yourself, I want money, or I'm going to have money, but then check your bank account and say, shit, I don't have any money. It doesn't work that way. Like, you literally have to feel in your bones. You have to feel, I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm abundant, I have an abundant life. I mean, you have to feel it. And you feel it, it'll happen. It just does. The universe responds. Positive and positive, negative, negative. Like is like. I mean, it always works. It just does. What I want you to check out sometime, if you haven't already done it, is read The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, or read The Greatest Secret. She has, I think, 3 or 4 books. There's a series. But read Rhonda Byrne. It will literally change your life. The other author who is absolutely phenomenal and will blow your mind is Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I subscribe to his channel. I've listened to his podcast over and over. Learn about his teachings on the quantum field and the beliefs that, like, literally you can heal yourself. Being in the quantum field can literally change the outcomes. And again, this also comes to like manifesting in the quantum field. And I'm sure I'm losing some people right now because this is a lot, but read it. Just read it and just give it an opportunity, give it a chance. Some of the things that I talk about on this episode is not going to be for everybody, and I do realize that. I'm going to have some guests on the show that are going to have some beliefs, or we're going to talk about some things. It's not going to resonate with everybody, and I'm okay with that. You can just turn it off when that time comes, but I'm going to talk about some things like energy healing, plant medicine. You may not believe that. Like plant medicine, you may say, oh, nope, I have to believe in big pharma. That's fine if you believe in it. I don't believe in that myself. I believe big pharma has never created anything to heal, but that's me. You may believe something completely different. I don't believe in organized religion. I believe in the universe. But again, to each his own. But the whole purpose of this podcast is community, us to share different beliefs, because you may have something to share with me that's going to change my life, that's going to help me. And hopefully I have some things to share with you. But I just wanted to share with you, like I said, I've been keeping up with this, a couple of these groups, and people were talking about, I'm scared to go here, I'm scared to go there by myself. But I just want to let you know, like, if you ever have that thought, take a chance, take a risk, because that one risk may be the biggest reward that you could ever take. Meet people that will absolutely change your life in ways that you never would expect. And you might learn some things about yourself that might blow your mind. And it can make a major impact on your life. that will, in a way, just set you free. But anyways, this has been another episode of Unshaken, the Hope Dealer podcast. I hope you've gotten a lot of information out of this that can be helpful and handy. But we shall talk to you soon. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Unshaken, the Hope Dealer podcast, where we turn trauma into truth and pain into power. If you've enjoyed this episode, hit subscribe and keep showing up for your healing. Until next time, stay brave, stay bold, and stay unshaken.